Upton Sinclair was born on September 20th, 1878 in Baltimore, Maryland. His father, Upton Beale Sinclair, was an alcoholic who worked many jobs, while his mother was Priscilla Hardin Sinclair, who never drank and came from a wealthy family. Upton would often visit his grandparents and get to experience the wealthy life contrasted to his own in poverty.
At age 13, he started writing and selling magazines to pay for school. At age 14, he started attending NYC College, graduated in 1897, and then went to Columbia University. He passed away on November 25, 1968, in Bound Brook, New Jersey.
Due to the stark contrast he witnessed between wealthy and poor, Sinclair became affiliated with the Socialist Party before turning to the Democratic Party. Socialists stood for the rights of all workers to organize production and distribution. They wanted the workers to control everything altogether. In 1906, Sinclair built the Helicon Home Colony, which was a commune for socialist writers.
Later in life, Sinclair ran for California governor as a Democrat on the EPIC platform, which stood for End Poverty in California. Sinclair also wrote almost 100 books and became a well-known writer. In 1906, Sinclair wrote The Jungle, which was a novel about the working conditions of the meatpacking industry.
These harsh working conditions were common at the turn of the 20th century. In 1906, Upton Sinclair published The Jungle, a novel about the American meatpacking industry.
At the time that The Jungle was written, the plants were horrible places to work. They were full of violence, they weren't clean, and frequently diseased and dead animals were slaughtered and made into food.
Sinclair's novel follows the story of a young Lithuanian, Jurgis Rudkus, who arrives in America seeking freedom and opportunity. He finds work in a prosperous and, as he learns to his dismay, filthy Chicago meatpacking plant.
Think about an individual coming from a rural agricultural kind of society, whether you think about Jurgis coming from Lithuania or a black migrant coming from the deep south, Mississippi, coming into a large industrial city, working in a mass production industry like meatpacking. Sinclair was writing on the crust of a giant wave of social and economic change that took place in the course of the late 19th century.
Before writing The Jungle, Sinclair spent 7 weeks around Chicago's meatpacking plants. He studied details about the work itself, the home lives of workers, and the structure of the business.
Upton Sinclair went into the plants and he saw dead animals being slaughtered. He saw filth all over the plant. He saw products going into sausage that shouldn't have been there. But more importantly, he came out of the plant radicalized by what happened to the workers, how they got chewed up the same way the food did.
Let a man so much as scrape his finger pushing a truck in the pickle rooms, and he might have a sore that would put him out of the world. All the joints in his fingers might be eaten by the acid one by one. Sinclair wanted to get these terrible working conditions into public knowledge in hopes for change.
This novel ended up helping the Pure Food and Drug Acts of 1906 and the Meat Inspection Act of 1906 to be passed. These acts show that the words had an impact on society, but they also show that the public focused more on the gross conditions of the meat in the factory rather than the terrible working conditions the employees experienced.